from Sinhagad College of Science. So in today's lecture we are going to study physical and chemical assays used for fermentation products. So before going into detail, we should know what is an assay. So assay of product means to check the quality and quantity of the product produced. So screening of fermentation product, it requires good detection and assay technique. This also is true for most of the fermentation studies at all points of development. This procedure must be simple. This procedure must be quick, reliable and accurate. It must detect only the compound of interest in relatively greater concentration of various chemical contaminants from the growth medium. So sometimes more than one assay procedure is possible. So one can choose the best assay procedure with some alternative assays used periodically to test the validity of assay of choice. So physical chemical assays. A choice of the particular assay technique from various available technique is depend on the selectivity of the chemical reaction or chemical reactions or chemical analysis involved, since the fermentation broth contains many other compounds in addition to the product of interest. In fact, in some instances, at least a partial purification is required of that fermentation product before carrying out the assay technique. So there are different types of assays available. So these are the types of physical and chemical assays. So first is titration and gravimetric analysis assay. Second is turbidity analysis and cell yield determination assay. Third is spectrophotometric assay. Fourth is chromatographic partition assay. Fifth is GC assay, that is gas chromatographic assay. And sixth is other technique like IR spectroscopy, NMR, that is nuclear magnetic resonance, and mass spectroscopy. So first one is titration and gravimetric analysis assay. So titration assay is used for the fermentation product if the product is an acid. Okay, if the product is an acid, then we can use this technique, that is titration technique. So volatile small molecular weight organic acids distilled directly from the acidified broth. Now this distillate is used for the analysis by titration. An organic acid of higher molecular weight separated from the fermentation medium by adsorption and followed by elution from a suitable anion exchange resin. So once this organic acid separates from the medium, it is analyzed by the titration using a pH indicator dye. Okay, pH indicator dye. Such as bromothymol blue to a sample, followed by titration with alkali of known strength. Okay, with alkali of known strength. So this is the titration assay. Titration assay is done when the product, if the product is an acid. Now if the product is insoluble, then we cannot perform titration. If the product is insoluble, then it is collected as PPT in the form of PPT, then it is washed, dried and the weight is recorded. So that is called as gravimetric analysis. Okay, that is called as gravimetric analysis. So second type of assay is cell yield determination assay and turbidity analysis assay. So determination of cell in the given fermentation broth is done by cell yield determination assay. If the cells are only insoluble product present in the medium, and that can be grown as pellet, that can be grown as pellet. So cell along with the medium is centrifuged in a graduated tube, and the volume of sedimented cell is measured in cubic centimeter. And turbidity is another technique to study the cells in the fermentation broth as product. Now this technique is useful for an organism growing throughout the medium. Means the organism, if it is growing uniformly in the medium and the cells suspended in the growth medium is diluted to a turbidity range that measures quantitatively as OD, that is optical density, with colorimeter or nephlometer by deflection of light that caused by the microbial cell when suspended in the light path of this instrument. So this is the PCV, that is packed cell volume. So you can see here turbidity of the cells present in the medium, and this is the measurement of bacterial growth using a spectrophotometer. You can see here the deflection of light because the presence of bacterial cells. So turbidity measurement of cell numbers usually is standardized against some other techniques such as standard plate counts for determining number of cells. So this standard curve is prepared relating OD to plate count from each series of dilution of the cell suspension, and once this standard graph is prepared, then one can count the number of cells from the optical density. Now next assay is spectrophotometric assay. So spectrophotometric assay utilizes various types of spectrophotometers to measure amount of visible light absorbed by colored solution at specific wavelength. So amount of say ultraviolet light absorbed by a compound or the intensity of the fluorescence emitted by the compound when it is exposed to UV light. Now if fermentation product which are in themselves colored but form a different hue than that of a medium measured directly in the colorimeter or possibly after a simple purification step. And if fermentation product is not colored, then it is reacted with some chemicals to form a color compound. Okay, and after that it is measured by a colorimeter. If the fermentation product is neither colored or not reacting with any chemical agent to give visible color, it can be determined by absorption of ultraviolet radiation or say fluorescence under ultraviolet light. So this is the spectrophotometric analysis. So these are the components. It contains a source of light, a collimator lens which collects the light rays, and then this is the monochromator. A prism or grating can be used. So and a single ray or monochromatic light is passed through this slit. This is the wavelength selector, and it is having a wavelength, same wavelength. Okay, and it passes through the sample holder, a sample solution present in the key bed, and the amount of light which is absorbed and the amount of light which is transmitted is recorded in a detector, and digital display, it displays the optical density. Now the principle of analysis are similar to those for the visible light determination and under ultraviolet wavelength chosen to allow maximum fluorescence or absorption of ultraviolet light. The use of spectrophotometric analysis to assay a previously unknown fermentation product is more difficult because the pure compound may not be available for use as a reference standard in preparing standard curve. Next is chromatographic partition assay. So paper and thin layer chromatography are forms of partition chromatography. So the solute or sample partition between two phases. So first phase is stationary phase and the other is mobile phase. So the solute or sample partition between stationary phase such as paper or it can be a silica gel of a thin layer plate, and a mobile phase consisting a mixture of solvent. As the solvent migrate across this paper or silica gel layer. So this paper chromatography applied for water soluble compound, and thin layer chromatography used for hydrophobic compounds. So this is the diagram showing chromatography. So at start, so we have to just give a spot of the compound here, and after completion of this procedure we can see the different component present in the mixture. So solute or the fermentation product is loaded to a paper or silica gel and allowed to separate on either of the stationary phases with the help of solvent that is present in chamber according to the composition of product. So there will be a formation of different bands on the paper or silica gel, which is to be colored by means of coloring agents, and then each band is measured for its movement from the origin, that is called as its RF value. Based on the calculation of RF value of each band, it is possible to determine the chemical characteristic of particular product, because each band represents chemical entity which can move up to a certain extent in given solvent. Now, different compound can be detected with the help of RF value of standard chemical compound. When single solvent system is not sufficient to separate a compound, then a mixture of solvent system, two solvent systems can be used. So if two solvent systems are used to separate a compound, that is called as 2D chromatography, that is two-dimensional chromatography. So after loading a sample to a chromatogram paper or silica gel, it is allowed to run with the help of first solvent system, and then chromatogram is turned 90 degree, okay, 90 degree angle, and then again it is allowed to run with the help of second solvent system. So while doing so, compound will move with one of the solvent system. Now next is gas chromatographic assay. So this gas chromatograph utilizes a form of partition chromatography to volatilize and separate certain types of fermentation product. So if the compound is volatile, then only this chromatographic technique can be used. So on injection onto a gas chromatograph, the fermentation product converted into its gaseous state, and then this mixture or this product is pushed by a stream of inert gas through a partition towards a partition column. Now compound separated during this passage from the column detected electronically with the help of detector system. If product is not volatile, it should made volatile with the help of chemical like esters. So quantitative assay obtained by comparison of the area occurring under the peak on the plot of the data with corresponding area of the peak. So this is the gas chromatograph. So it contains carrier gas, a flow meter, that is flow control, a injector through which we can inject our sample. So this is the column, okay, this is the column, and this is the outlet of the column, and which is joined to a detector, okay, and this detector is joined to this data system, and this column and injection port and detector system, it is present inside a oven. So this is the oven. In addition to that, some other techniques are also available, like infrared spectroscopy, nuclear magnetic resonance, and mass spectroscopy. So above discussed techniques are among these techniques used for the detection of fermentation product. But if one want to get structure of the chemical or the chemical composition and the bond formation between each atom in the given compound, then techniques like IR spectroscopy, NMR, and mass spectroscopies are useful. And for such techniques, compound must be in purest form, and these techniques are costly, but it provides valuable data, valuable information of the product. So these are the physicochemical analysis of fermentation product. These are physical chemical assays used for fermentation product.